So today is about what two two days after Regulation M-B was released, and it added I think 39 Pokemon or 39 different Pokemon to play with. And I just want to share my thoughts in a little quick format video. This is gonna be quick, hopefully under 20 minutes, because oh my god, my videos need to be under 20 minutes. But just want to share my thoughts on the viability of these guys. And we'll just go in Pokedex order. So first off, I want to talk about Mega Raichu X. The Mega Raichu X has Electric Surge, so it's going to be setting up electric terrain, which is always good. Surprisingly, it's our only terrain setter. Some people thought Indeedee would be coming back. Some people thought um, Rillaboom would be coming back. I don't know why they would add Rillaboom. Because I think Rillaboom is too powerful for this format. Even though we already have Incineroar and other things, but I think Rillaboom would have definitely thrown off the balance of this format because this format seems to be centralized purposefully, as it's very it's very particular the way that the Pokemon Company wanted this format to be set up and designed. Because there's a reason why we didn't get every Mega right away, and why we didn't get the rest of the Megas in this regulation. Like, I was really hoping Golisopod would be in this regulation because I want that thing to get a really good ability. But strangely enough, they held back on most of the new other Megas, which is interesting to me. But this thing's a physical attacker. It's going to be. I think it's going to be mostly a support mega, with very niche uses of it actually using Volt Tackle, because it only has 60 HP, which means a Volt Tackle is going to be killing something, and then it's going to be dealing so much damage to itself due to recoil. Don't know why Volt Tackle does recoil when it's a when it's exclusive to the Pikachu line. Very strange to me, but that's could be insanely better if Volt Tackle did not do recoil, but it does. It also suffers from just like the Pikachu line not having a lot of good physical attacks. Like you run what Drain Punch, you run Fake Out, you run what Play Rough or something as like fourth move. Like, I don't know. I've seen some people bring up Rain Dance sets next to Archaludon, which is very interesting. I might tinker with that, but I think that might I can't really think of anything. So I'm just gonna put it in niche because I know there are uses of it. Actually, never mind. It's gonna be mid because there's definitely uses of it, but it's definitely extremely few and far between. Now, just in the slaughter, but this is the only Pokemon going in this tier because this tier is specifically made for Raichu Y. Raichu Y has no guard and is extremely min-maxed to where it basically only has special attack and only has speed. It's extremely quick, it hits extremely hard, it has Zap Cannon, which obliterates things, and it has Focus Blast, which is really fun to land. But the thing is, I feel like it doesn't hit as hard as I want it to. I mean, it hits hard. It's just like everybody has a counter to it. Like Groudon, not Groudon, Garchomp is like the most used Pokemon in the game, and they added Life Orb. So people are going to be using Groudon Life Orb because that's Life Orb is Groudon's best friend. So I have no clue why people are running this thing when Lorbed, like Garchomp is running around. Like one of the scariest Pokemon I think you could face in this meta in general. But other things it can do, it's just a one trick pony. It just it just clicks Zap Cannon and tries to take things down. But if you know you're going to die to this thing, you either die because you know you can't get around it, or you just swap out into a resisted hit. And yeah, resisted hits are going to be doing like 40%, 45%, 50% to you. But the thing is, both Raichus are relatively frail. This guy has good defenses, but it only has 60 HP. This guy has mediocre defenses and only has 60 HP. So this thing's going to be going down really quick. This guy's also going to be going down really quick. It's just the Raichus aren't the greatest in this regulation. Vileplume, it's just chlorophyll. Like, the only thing you can use this for is chlorophyll sleep powder, and we have Venusaur, so that's bad. Quillfish, Swift Swim, Intimidate. It's like the only thing that does that except for Overquill, which is, I'm just gonna get to him now. He's niche. I used him in Showdown a lot, just to toy around with him back in Regulation H in 2024. Oh my god, I'm getting old. 2024 Regulation H, when it was low power meta. I used him a bit on a rain team. I think it worked because of the low power level. But the thing is, we have megas, and a lot of these megas are really busted. So I'm just going to put them in niche. You get Crunch, Barbarage. I don't think you get Knockoff. Thing is, I don't think you get any good utility moves. I might be wrong, but it's just Swift Swim, Intimidate user. I've seen they have given this guy some coverage, so he's not going to be in mid. If they didn't give him Earth Power or Shed Tail, he'd be in mid. But he has Shed Tail and Earth Power. I've seen a Shed Tail set running around. That's really interesting. I've seen he's given Earth Power, so now he can actually do things to Steel types. He's niche. I can definitely see people using him next to like a Discharge user, or redirecting hits from either of these two Raichus. He seems like something you'd put on a 2 mega team. Just something really interesting. Now, Mega Blaziken, in this regulation specifically, I don't think you're going to be using physically attacking Mega Blaziken, but specially attacking Mega Blaziken, I think, can work pretty well. Because you avoid Intimidate, you sit behind Protect, build up Speed Boost. The only thing you really need to worry about is Trick Room. But even then, you want to be building up Speed Boost with Protect anyways. So I would say just load a support Pokemon, make sure you stay alive in Trick Room, press Protect every other turn, and hopefully you take something down with Aura Sphere, or I think you get Heat Wave. If you don't, then that would knock this guy down a few pegs, but he'd still be within the tier. But Flamethrower, if you are running a physical kit, I think you could still get away with it, but I personally would go with a specially attacking kit. Ooh, Mega Swampert. Mega Swampert is now running around like crazy, and it is honestly terrifying. Pairing this guy up next to Archalanon and next to, like, Pelipper is really scary, especially in a meta defined by Charizard and Floette. This guy hits them both really hard. The set I run is max HP, max attack Adamant, with Wave Crash, Earth Power, or Earth Power, not Earth Power. Max attack, max HP, Adamant, Earthquake, Wave Crash, Flip Turn, and Protect. And with that, you're able to pivot in and out with Flip Turn, getting Incineroar in, getting Sinistcha in, healing yourself up, getting yourself out of scary predicaments, getting Pelipper in, blah, blah, blah. Very good Pokemon. I think it just speaks for itself on how just strong he is in general. He's really bulky, whereas like Sceptile's niche, Blaziken's overall solid. This guy, he's really good, but if you just have grass coverage, you beat him, which is like the only, like one of the only flaws. Just in a stray grass type attack, just takes him out. Mega Mawile is probably one of my favorite megas to use. Is he meta defining? No. Is she broken? No. She sets Intimidate before Mega Evolving, allowing her to be useful beforehand. She Mega Evolves, gets huge power, becomes absolutely insane damage, and just sits on the field and just puts huge pressure on the field. Just anything that is in her way that doesn't resist Fairy, Steel, or Dark because she gets Sucker Punch. And her getting Sucker Punch is crazy as well. I feel like anything on the field just needs to be very aware of Mega Mawile at all times. And that's why she's going to be at the top of Solid. I'm going to be talking about Metagross and not just Mega Metagross. Metagross and Mega Metagross are insane. I'm putting them at the top of meta defining because we didn't have a Steel type or very many Pokemon in general that resisted Fairy. And getting a Steel type that is this good and resists Fairy, because we only had like one Fairy resist, and that was Corviknight. That was like one viable Fairy resist. Because we had Archaludon took neutral, King Gambit took neutral, we had Incineroar, Fire type, took neutral because Dark type. So this is very great that we have a Pokemon that resists Fairy, and that is this strong. That has priority in Bullet Punch, that has excellent stab in Meteor Mash. Yeah, it's sad that they got rid of Heavy Slam, but I feel like that was warranted when you already have Meteor Mash. You get Psychic Fangs to deal with screens. It's just an incredible Pokemon. Not to mention all the explosion shenanigans you can do. It's just a really incredible Pokemon overall. Mega Staraptor. I'm going to put top of Solid. They gave this guy Contrary, which is great. You can't intimidate him because he'll just get an attack boost. You can't debuff him because that debuff will become a buff. Right now, Mega Staraptor's best friend is Whimsicott because you can just run a bunch of debuffing moves on Whimsicott, which usually you would like, not usually, but rarely you'd see like Fake Tears Whimsicott, Charm Whimsicott, Tickle Whimsicott, and it'd be really annoying to deal with. But now you slap that on a Contrary user, and it is incredibly annoying to deal with because this Pokemon is just going to get buffs on buffs on buffs on buffs. Not to mention close combat, you're buffing yourself. You get Brave Bird. If you don't want to run Brave Bird because you don't want to deal with recoil, you run Dual Wing Beat. And you get Roost. And if you don't want to run the Roost set, there's always U-Turn. And you get Intimidate before Mega Evolving. It's just really good. I'm not going to say meta-defining because it's like a stray hit from a Fairy type puts this guy in critical range of being killed or just killed in general. So it's not meta-defining. It's going to be annoying to deal with. You're going to see him on ladder everywhere. He's on ladder everywhere right now. But that's only because Floette isn't. And if Floette is on the ladder, then this guy's dead because Floette's just a nuclear bomb. Scolipede. Oh, Scolipede's not bad. It's just mid. It got shell armor. I was really hoping it would get stamina. If it got stamina, then that would be insane. But it only got shell armor. Shell armor is kind of Poke-Aim, I believe, used Gunk Shot, Leech Life, Swords Dance, and Protect set. Moxie Boosted used, I think, the same set, but with heavy speed investment. And I think he was using Poison Jab, but Poison Jab wasn't killing things, so he switched out for Gunk Shot. But This guy, I wish he was better, but he's really not. Mega Scrafty. Mega Scrafty, I think I'm gonna put him in top of niche. Mega Scrafty is the only Mega Pokemon of all time, or currently, to have Intimidate before Mega Evolving and afterwards. So you get the double stack Megas. The only issue is if there's something with Contrary in front of you, or if there's something with Defiant or Competitive in front of you, you're kind of boned. You really thrive being a secondary Mega. Being on a mono Mega team, you don't really want to be using Scrafty. You want to be using something else. You get Drain Punch, you get Fake Out, you get Knockoff. They got rid of Parting Shot, which sucks. He doesn't have U-Turn. So the moveset you'd use is Fake Out, Knockoff, Drain Punch, Detect. He's okay. He's niche. He's definitely a second Mega kind of Pokemon. Mega Electros, I'm going to put him on bottom of solid. He gets this new ability called Elevate, which is, pun. Elevate eel. He's an eel. Electric eel, yeah. Which is just levitate and beast boost, which I think is really fun. I've been using him a lot because he's my favorite Mega added. It might be Cope putting him up here, but he's definitely better than everything below, except for this guy. Maybe, I don't know. But it's just, I really hope, he's being underutilized right now, but I see the potential because he has such a wide range of utility moves, and he works really well on rain teams. The only issue is he takes the same position as Archaludon would on those rain teams. He just has better coverage than Archaludon. That is, if you're not talking about like Aura Sphere sets. Aura Sphere sets are always a pain in the butt to deal with. Musharna is bad. I'll put him at top of bad. Musharna doesn't really do anything. I know Musharna gets telepathy. Musharna is a Gen 5 support Pokemon. You set up... I don't even know if she gets Trick Room. But you set up Trick Room, I would assume, and just be bulky. But if you're setting up Trick Room, why not just use Uniclus when you get Regenerator and Overcoat and Magic Bounce? Is it Magic Bounce or Magic Guard? It's one of them. But there's just no reason to use this Pokemon instead of other ones. Pyroar, Heat Wave, Hyper Voice, Flamethrower, Protect, like Modest, just in Sun. You're spamming Heat Wave with Helping Hand. You're going to be killing things, absolutely annihilating things. But if you're running Mega Pokemon in Sun, just use Charizard Y. Like, it's taking the same role, it's just way more steps to get there. And I don't know why. I know adaptability would have made like the heat waves weaker than they are now with Fire Mane, but adaptability, in my opinion, would have just made this guy more viable in general, or something completely different. They could have given him a different viable ability, and I think he would have been in a place where he was more viable, if that makes more sense. Because I think just being a Mega Pokemon that you want to use in Sun, is a really big detriment to Pyroar. And it just sucks. Mega Malamar, my friend Malamar, sucks. Probably one of the worst Pokemon added, in all honesty. I'm going to put him in top of bad. He is so bad. I was really hoping. I mean, I knew. I called it. A couple days before the regulation dropped, I made a post about how I like thought Malamar was going to get contrary, and I also said it might have gotten like a an ability that would set up Trick Room for 2 turns, like 2 or more turns. I feel like it should have been that. I think if it was a Trick Room setter like on Mega Evolution, that would have made it really unique and especially forgiving since this Pokemon's stats are so bad and so weird and so spread out in such a weird way. But no, they just give it contrary again. And on the other side of the totem pole, there's a contrary user that does it 10 times better with better stab options. Yeah, it's just bad. Dragalge, I'm going to put it top of mid. Dragalge is really hard to get rid of if your name's not Garchomp. Um, Dragalge would thrive in a meta that didn't have very many good ground types, but the issue is she's living in a world with Garchomp, and Garchomp just presses Earthquake next to something like a telepathy user or flying type or something with Levitate, and it gets it off for free, and then this thing goes down. I mean, I think the only time this thing doesn't go down like instantly is if you're max HP, max defense, bold nature. Some people are running Sludge Bomb, Draco Meteor, and Flip Turn, and like min maxing for specific matchups stat wise. I haven't looked at those stats, but I know they're min maxing for Garchomp. It's just I feel like I don't know. I feel like Dragalge is a Pokemon that isn't going to be used much, but when she is used, it's going to be surprising and it's going to take people by surprise, and it's going to be pretty useful because if you're going to be using Dragalge, I think the way to go at it is just not to look at her as a Dragon type, but to look at her as a Poison type, like Sneasler, like a special attacking Sneasler that's bulky, that's really bulky. This is basically just bulky Sneasler. Um, I haven't seen anybody touch it, but I feel like this guy is top of niche. I could be wrong. This guy could be up here in a couple weeks because every other week we have a new rock type that's like top of usage because of how good Charizard in like the Charizard Fairy team is. That team archetype is. I feel like it getting Tough Claws was like the best thing it could have gotten. Because right now it can close combat, rock slide, shell smash. This is the best shell smash user we have, and it's no contest. This thing is super fast. This thing hits super hard. It has rock slide, close combat, protect, shell smash. You can, if you want coverage, use Razor Shell. I think it gets Aqua Jet. It has decent water coverage because pre-evolution or pre-mega, it's a water type. It's just really good. Uh, I think we're definitely going to see some play with this thing later down the line. It's right now it has the same issue that Mega Crab had, where people didn't really understand how strong and how just intimidating Mega Crab could be, just because people weren't using it because people didn't really like it because they thought it was ugly. Now I take offense to that because I really like Mega Crab and I think Mega Crab is cute. I think no, not cute, awesome. I think regular Crab is cute. Now Grimmsnarl, my goat. Grimmsnarl, we have a screens user and they gave us light clay. I'm pretty sure they only gave us light clay because this guy's in the game now. You set up screens, they last the entire game. For some reason, they got rid of False Surrender, which is like it has 2 signature moves, Spirit Break and False Surrender. I don't know why they got rid of False Surrender. They might just not have added it into the game, to be honest. because if you wanted dark type stab, you would run Sucker Punch. The set I'm doing right now is max HP, max defense. No, just max HP. I don't know what set I'm doing right now, to be honest. But I know what I'm running. I'm running Spirit Break, Sucker Punch, Reflect, and Light Screen. I was running Fake Out until I realized I don't really need Fake Out on this guy. I could just set up screens immediately. And so, yeah, it's just really good. Phalanx, ooh. Top of mid. Phalanx, I was really hoping it would get as one that would combine Defiant and Battle Armor, and that wouldn't even have been broken. And it would make sense because they're a bunch of little guys acting as one unit, and I thought that would have been really clever and really cool. Battle Armor plus Defiant wouldn't have made it broken. He'd probably in like niche or somewhere, but it would have just made him good. You run Close Combat, maybe Drain Punch. You run No Retreat, Protect, or Detect. I don't know if he gets Detect, but you should run a Protecting move. And then your fourth move would be your fourth move would basically just be coverage. Not that deep. You'd run like Rock Slide or Iron Head or something. I think Rock Slide in this meta, just because of like Charizard and other important fire types and flying types. Houndstone I'm honestly really happy to see Houndstone because when making sand teams, I felt like that one key component of a support Pokemon that didn't really fit the criteria I wanted it to wasn't in the game, and that criteria is exactly Houndstone. Tyranitar, its little pet is the mole. Now, if Tyranitar were to have two pets, the other pet would be the dead dog. The dead dog, you just run Last Respects as its only attacking move, in my opinion, and then you run Helping Hand, Will-O-Wisp, Protect, and then boom. He's perfect. He can be an in-game sweeper. He can be a mid-game and early-game disrupting Pokemon with Will-O-Wisp, and he can just be a support Pokemon in general with Helping Hand. Really good. Now, I'm going to be talking about these two simultaneously. Actually, no, I'm not, because that wouldn't make sense. First off, Annihilate. Annihilate is... You can basically do two things with them. You can run bulky Annihilate with some sort of setup move, some sort of recovery like Leftovers or Citrus Berry, and then you try to get Drain Punch healing, and you make sure you don't get attacked too much because you don't want to die, but you want to be attacked so your Rage Fist builds up. And then you start snowballing. Or you run Choice Scarf and Rage Fist, Close Combat, Shadow Claw, or Rock Slide, and then U-turn. I'm going to be honest. Actually, no. Yeah. No, I'm keeping him there. The only reason why I was debating putting him in there because I saw a mouse ape team archetype today. I know it's disgusting. I want to throw up just seeing it. But looking in team preview, I didn't realize what I was looking at until I saw the ape and the mouse on the field at the same time, and I was having World War II flashbacks. It was so bad. And then he used beat up on Annihilate, and I literally screamed out loud. I let out a shrill. It was so bad. I was scared shitless. Like it I forfeited. I'm not even joking. I forfeited then and there because I realized I had nothing to stop what was coming to me. I made an adjustment like instantly. I forfeited, went to team sheets, and just put in a counter immediately. I did not want to deal with that ever again. Oh dear God. And then Golden Go. They made a huge nerf to Golden Go. Make It Rain now drops your special attack by 2 instead of by 1. So previously you were able to set up a nasty plot and then you were able to go for 2 Make It Rains until you had to plot up again. But now it's not really worth it to use nasty plot with Golden Go because it would just be letting you get off one super powerful Make It Rain and then you're back to normal. Now, it's not worth it. You can use Nasty Plot and use Make It Rain, and then you use a normal one. Like Make It Rain's still super strong. I think, in my eyes, the biggest nerf to this Pokemon is the fact that Make It Rain is now 95% accurate instead of 100. Now, that's not the worst thing in the world, but Rock Slide is only 90% accurate and it misses like 50% of the time. Like I think people can count like when you're using Rock Slide, it misses more than it hits and it never flinches. But when someone else uses Rock Slide, it hits you and flinches you more than it misses. So it's just now it's a move you can't 100% rely on. And I've already seen sets that run Make It Rain with Flash Cannon and then Shadow Ball and then fourth move. Usually on a not trick room, usually on a choice scarf set, and that would be like trick or power gem for your fourth move. But I have seen Flash Cannon on ladder, and it's just interesting. But I feel like this Pokemon is going to be put onto um, Zard teams, and it's going to be fitting very comfortably on Zard teams as a good spread special attacker because we don't really have too many of them, and it's nice to get one. I just wish it wasn't Golden Go because now I have to deal with the cheese guy. Anyways, that's about it. That's my yap for the day. See you guys later.